Live with Affiliate Nerd Out Real Talk Friday. My guest is always Christen Evans. What's up?
Not much, just another week with this lovely, lovely Sacramento weather that we're getting.
Yeah, I got some disgusting hail yesterday.
Oh, gross, gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just really, really super windy and rainy here, and I hate it here. It's fine.
Oh no, how dare
No,
you?
this kind of weather is always hard on me, but this is why I don't live in Seattle, right? Like,
Sure.
just I don't.
Got a little mopies. Can be mopey on Friday.
Yeah, seasonal affective disorder just gets extra hard when the weather's coming down. I also have a propensity to get really bad migraines when the weather's like this, so I'm like extra like which is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Next week, I scheduled some time. I met up with Matt Frary today, and he typed something into ChatGPT that was really interesting and a lot of fun, and so we're going to replicate it next Friday.
I
So
just saw that post and that
yeah,
looks amazing. I
yeah,
love it.
come join us. It'll be fun.
Okay. I mean, don't threaten me with a good time. Jeez.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about today?
Something that's happened been on my mind a little bit this week, which is giving each other grace in communications, and I think especially because we're all online so much and we're hyper connected, we sometimes forget that people are not necessarily working on our bandwidth, our capacity, and our timeline. And I think it can be frustrating. I mean, I get frustrated when I'm reaching out to, say, like publishers, and I just get total crickets. I've received a couple of communications this week, and I mean, I very much lean into like communication is kindness. That being said, sometimes I'm not always great at communicating when I'm like, or I've got stuff going on. Sometimes emails get lost in my inbox because I am not an inbox zero girly, and I never will be. And if anybody ever expects that of me, that's on you. That is not on me.
Huh.
But I think that sometimes there's so much stuff that people are dealing with, whether it's with the brands that they're representing or with it, the team that they're managing or publishers or this or that, that people expect things to be done on a certain timeline, but they don't necessarily communicate those expectations, nor do they understand like all of the breadth and width and BS that goes on kind of behind the scenes. And that sometimes people aren't or don't get back to you because they're trying to figure out the best way forward. And while that may not be like the best way to manage a relationship, it's also not necessarily something that warrants, a short or snarky response. Not everything is in everybody's hands. There's often so much that goes on behind the scenes, and just realizing that when we're talking with other people, whether it's talking about new opportunities, whether it's talking about some sort of affiliate opportunity, or whatever, give people grace. Give people grace, because you have literally no idea what's going on with them. And while you might be annoyed about something, projecting that onto another person isn't going to help things in the long run. And because it is a relationships-based industry, yeah, the other person might be dropping the ball and like not getting back to you in a fashion that you believe is timely. But you might need to just kind of step back and realize that there are multiple other things going on, and it's not about you, and it's not about your timeline. Yes, you might find it disrespectful. Sorry, but it's also kind of disrespectful to get an email that's like, me, me, me. And get that first thing in the morning where it's like, now that sets the tone for the day. It just realize that when you're dealing with other people, that there are other things at play. And the best thing that you can do is really kind of communicate with kindness. I say communication is kindness, but communicate with kindness as well. Like communicate with empathy as the first step, and with, trying to understand as the first step versus any other way. And I think that we can all be guilty of that sometimes. I think that I certainly I can get a little bit like, but that's not, but, and I think that we all do. I think that we all do. But, in the true nature of being a partnerships kind of economy, we do need to understand that people have more going on and that, your needs are not always the most pressing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Looks like we've got a fan of your Laura Press.
I love you, Laura.
Press. Preach that communication grace. I agree. I am a guilty person of not getting back to people in a timely manner, but what I like to do to at least stall is like, hey, I'm going to give you a timeline of X amount of days that I need to answer this, and just a heads up. And that's helpful. I think there is a place in affiliate where you need to get back to people within 24 hours if it calls for it, right?
Yeah.
But like setting that expectation is a work of art in itself. So like it's not for everybody, and the people that are the frustrated ones, they get back to me with something that reads weird or doesn't hit me right. It puts me in a little bit of a downward spiral of depression of like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not doing good work. And that is never productive.
And I think that's kind of what happened to me a little bit this week is, it's like maybe I wasn't meeting somebody's expectation that hasn't been communicated, and also I think I do believe firmly that there is a point where like if you've sent XYZ amount of emails and there hasn't been a response, like maybe take a step back for a minute or maybe try another avenue. I mean, my inbox gobbles emails like you wouldn't believe. But again, I'm not an inbox zero girl. Like that's just, yes, that's my own fault. But also like if you're connected with me on other platforms, try that. Just try it instead of projecting. And I think that we can all do with kind of stepping back and, people are people. We're all fallible. Like there's going to be mistakes made in life. But we don't necessarily need to react in a way that's going to send somebody into a spiral, and yes, of course we're responsible for our own reactions, but like, if somebody like there are emails that you'll open up in the morning that like have a certain tone or a certain response, and that will kind of set you down the wrong path for the day. And, I mean, that's absolutely, that's a part of communication, but like we should be checking ourselves on that too. Like, is this really something that's worth like about,
somebody told me a long time ago, a practice that I do quite often is if you need to send somebody a nasty email, write it out, read it out loud, and then push delete before you send.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good practice. And then try over with a nice tone. Like it's a good practice, and honey attracts more flies than vinegar. Is that the saying?
Yes,
But
exactly.
and garbage attracts more flies than both of them combined. Assuming you're into catching flies and stuff, but
you're not going to make friends by being curt, and I don't mean the name Kurt, I mean the word Kurt. You're not going to make friends that way. And even if it's not all about making friends, it is about making business relationships. So just remember that, because especially, we all come back to each other at some point in time. And just because one opportunity doesn't pan out on a timeline or on, in a way that was maybe expected, doesn't mean there aren't future opportunities, but do you really want to kill that before, you even get the chance to explore it? I just, I know that not everybody is going to be on the exact same wavelength at all times. Like that's so, so rare, but having the understanding that we all have our own lives separated from these laptops and these computer screens, I think is really important too. We don't know if somebody's missing the bandwidth to do something or has like a whole upheaval going on in their system, or if, they're just struggling through the day to day. We don't know that about them because we see tiny snippets of what's going on. And it's it doesn't hurt you to take a beat to make sure that you're approaching it in a way that's not going to harm the relationship.
I've got theories on and practices that I do. I'm not necessarily good at execution of these, but one of my best theories and concepts uh, of this is prioritizing in my email. I'll put high, medium, low, and then I will have timers of like, if I send out this email today, it'll come back and hit my inbox on Monday if they haven't responded, and then I can do a follow-up. And first follow-up is going to be really nice and easy. Hey, did you have a chance to get to this? What do you think? And if I really need somebody to do something, I put some expectations of times, hey, or ask a question like, when do you think you could get this to me? But like demanding things is never going to be helpful in any kind of sense. So I'm sorry to hear that you're getting some of that. And
it's just the vibe this week. I mean, I think
yeah.
Mercury might be in the microwave or something again. I don't know, but yeah, it's just it was a weird vibe, and it happened a few times this week. And I'm like, okay, either I'm really dropping the ball, which I'm here to say it's possible. It is absolutely possible that I could be dropping the ball. I'm not opposed to being the enemy here by any chance. But I will also say that like this is not a just me problem. Like there are, it's a thing that happens, and people are we're just people.
Yep.
We break sometimes. And I think that just remembering that whenever you're communicating with somebody, I think that's the biggest part of communication is kindness, is just remembering that people are people, and sometimes we break, and sometimes we will be like the biggest shining rock stars that you've ever seen, and then sometimes there's just an in between. And we have to be willing to accept all of those various stages of peoplehood. Laura just said the best thing.
Amy, you're so sweet.
You are so sweet. Oh, that was Amy, not Laura. But yeah, Amy, thank you, Amy.
Yeah, Laura said I love you too, but yeah, we love it. I can't believe Amy's watching us just hang out.
Know. Now it's like, get it together.
Well, this is what besties do. Like you and I have that rapport because we think alike and we work alike and we hang out with each other enough. So thanks, Amy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. What about you? Any big revelations this week?
Nothing in particular that I've got on my mind. A pretty good week. Nothing. The weather seasonality can be an effect for sure on your daily mood. And then, I had a case of the Mondays this time around, so it was hard to get through that. But Tuesday bounced back like hard, and I get back in there, and I'm doing my mornings 4:30 and then working through like 5 o'clock sometimes. And these are long weeks. Fridays. I'm really vibing on this like 4-day work week where like Friday is kind of my day to like catch up on the things that I need to do.
Isn't it the best? I started instituting that, I guess, basically when I launched Spark Partnerships. We do Choose Your Own Adventure Friday, which, kind of gives everybody the opportunity to like, especially during the summer, like if you want to go swimming on Friday, because that's where you will find me during summer Fridays, is in a pool or a body of water. If you want to do that, go do that, because it's so good for you. If you want to sit down and have focus time and be able to like knock out the stuff that you haven't been able to knock out during the week because you've been in meetings or you've been really task heavy, do that. But yeah, it's like just not having that pressure to absolutely get stuff done on Friday, or not, like have to be like present and ready to do client meetings or whatever, I feel like really makes that work week go so much better. In my opinion. I feel a lot better when Monday rolls around. I feel a lot more organized come like noon Friday, when like my brain is just like, I'm good. Mentally good.
And cooked.
Yeah.
Amy says, "This feels like home. I feel normal." Awesome. That's
Aw,
cute. I
that's
love it.
really sweet. Thank you.
Uh, oh, I mean, we're almost at time, but like another revelation I came up with is I'm really good at building lists. You know,
Mhm.
I don't like doing the outreach or like the tedious work of like the affiliate management aspect, but I can make a killer list for any brand.
Oh,
And
see, I
like,
love doing the outreach, but, like, building a list is
yeah.
brutal.
So yeah, I'm considering this concept. Me and Matt Frary are talking about working together in this capacity where I build lists for his clients when they come on board.
Love
And
it.
here's 1,000 target affiliates or influencers that are going to be a fit, and charge them for a fee for doing that. Maybe it's per lead situation. I don't know exactly the pricing model, but I think this could be my next venture into like what I'm doing.
I feel like it should have something to do with, like, onboard at the very least, like, there has to be, like, a conversion aspect to it, but
Mhm.
also, like, that's a lot of back work that you're doing, but no, that's a fantastic thing. I mean, there's so many people, and I think this is part of one of the reasons why, like, you and I get along really well is because you like to do things like build lists. I don't
Yeah,
like to do that, but I'll go have the conversation
sure.
all day long. Love that
Yeah.
aspect of it. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot there. And I mean, you've been sharing so many good lists recently on LinkedIn. If you haven't seen them, you should go find them.
Oh, look at that. Eric Nagel. What a blast from the past here.
Nagel finally made
Like watching
it.
a rom-com and I'm screaming at the TV for the two main characters just get together all right. Oh,
I don't think either of the roommates
how
would
dare
appreciate
you?
that. Like, also,
We're
Dustin and I would probably kill each other if this came up.
immediately like
Absolutely not.
we both have fantastic spouses that are
Mhm.
our perfect counterparts. And
Exactly.
uh
Exactly. Um,
thanks for stirring the pot though, Nagel. Appreciate you.
you're getting some drama to the Friday Real Talk. I love it.
Holy shit.
But no, like, you've been doing great lists, and I can't wait to see the session with Matt Frary next week because I saw you post that right before we hopped on, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. So,
Matt's such a good time all the time.
always so
So
funny.
knowledgeable at all the stuff.
Yeah,
I can't wait to show. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Kristen, appreciate you.
appreciate you.
All right. We'll see you,
We'll talk
folks.
soon.
Later.
Why won't this turn off?
Apparently, I have to hit end stream. I can't just close out with it. Okay. Bye.